What is going on, guys? It's Modded Warfare here. Welcome back to another video and welcome to PlayStation 5. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to access web browsing on the PS5, because as of right now, Sony has not implemented a web browser. A lot of people were freaking out about that as well, thinking that there's not going to be a chance of a jailbreak, because normally jailbreaks happen through the web browser. But that's not true. I mean, there is a WebKit implementation in the PS5. They just don't have a web browser app yet, so that you can just go to whatever website you want. And clearly they appear to be planning to at least include a web browser app, because if you head into the settings and you go down to system, you can see that there is a web browser section in the system settings for allowing cookies and JavaScript, deleting cookies, clearing your website data, etc. So clearly they are planning to implement a web browser at some point. But how do you access websites right now on your PS5 without a dedicated web browser app? Well, what you're going to want to do is head into the settings and go to the user guide, because the user guide, as you can see, is a web browser app basically, but it only takes you to this one page every single time, and you don't have access to the URL bar, so you cannot change the website that you want to go to. So you're basically stuck on the user guide. Okay, so there's a few different ways that we can use the user guide to access the wider internet. This first method is a bit cumbersome, but it doesn't require any extra tools and software. But you do have to go through multiple different pages to get to Google, so you can actually search for whatever website you want. And the second method is even better, and it also doesn't require any extra tools and software. Okay, so once you're on the user guide, if you head to playstation.com/help to try and navigate outside of the PlayStation support and get onto the wider internet, as you can see, there's 6 links here. If you click on any of these links right here, let's do PS Store and refunds. There should be an embedded YouTube video in there somewhere. And if you select that YouTube video, you can then exit out to YouTube itself. So if we start playing the video, as you can see, there's a link to YouTube down there in the bottom right. So if you click that to watch it on YouTube itself, that'll take us out of PlayStation's website and onto YouTube. So from there, we can say no thanks to sign in, agree to their terms, and we'll pause this video right now. So once you're onto YouTube itself, the way I did it is I went down to share, and I actually went to share on Reddit, and that took me to Reddit. And then once I was on Reddit, I went to continue with Google to sign in using Google, and then I went down to the privacy option down here, and that takes me out here. And then from there I went up to the top left, Google privacy and terms. I selected that. And then from there, if I scroll down to the bottom, there is a link to Google right there in the bottom left. I select that, and boom, we're now out onto Google. But once you get there, you can now do a Google search for any website that you want, and you'll be able to access it. So sometimes when you go to load the YouTube video, you'll get an invalid SSL certificate, and it won't allow you to play the video, so you can't get out to Google. So there is another way to access it, which is a bit longer, but if you go to playstation.com/help, if you're running into this issue, from the user guide, and then this time if we go down to connectivity, then go to PSN status, and then go to back to playstation.com, which will take you to the main playstation.com website. From there you can scroll all the way down to the bottom where you'll find the social media links, and then if you go to Instagram, because YouTube is giving an invalid SSL certificate, which happens quite often, so we'll head to Instagram instead. And we'll just accept, we'll go to sign up, and then we'll go to get it on Google Play, which will take us to the Google Play Store. From there, I can go to the little gear icon on the top right-hand corner, and that will take us to Google Sign In. And then from there, same thing again, go to privacy, then go to privacy and terms, and then scroll down and click the Google link down here. And we're back to Google search engine again. So takes longer. There's a lot more pages you have to go through. But if you are running into that error on loading the embedded YouTube video, then you can access it this way instead. And I'm sure there's plenty of other methods as well that you can use to access Google that way. And we can just do a search for that. And there it is right at the top. And I'm able to access that website. So I can literally go to any website I want now that I have access to Google. And we are there. Okay, so that was the first method, and yeah, it works, but you have to jump through about 10 different pages or so before you can get onto the search engine to then go to the website that you actually want to go to. So not very convenient. The next method here is much more convenient, and it doesn't require any extra tools and software, and you can pretty much just load the user guide and then search for any website you want directly. So the way that that works is we're going to go down to the network settings. We're going to go to settings, set up an internet connection. Then we're going to go to your registered networks and select the router you're connected to. We're going to go down to advanced settings, and then we're going to scroll down to the option for DNS settings. So we're going to go to DNS settings and we're going to change that to manual. Then we're going to set up the DNS like this. Now there's 2 DNS addresses that you can use. So if one doesn't work for you, try the other one. So the first one is 165.227.83.145. So that's the first one. If that one doesn't work, you can try the other one. I'll just put it into the secondary DNS right now. But you can put it into the primary DNS if the first one doesn't work, which is 192.241.221.79. And then click done. So enter that as your primary DNS, either the first one or the second one. Both should work, but if one doesn't work because it's down for whatever reason, you can try the other one. And then we're just going to connect here. So it's trying to connect to the internet. And there we go, it's done, it's connected. So when you first add the DNS and you go to the user guide, you might notice that nothing seems to happen. It seems to go to the normal user guide. So it needs to be refreshed. The easiest way to do that is to just hit the PS button and go to your account and log out. Because logging out of your account seems to be the best way I've found to properly refresh it. I've tried disconnecting and reconnecting to the internet and clearing cache and cookies and website data and all that stuff, and it still doesn't refresh it properly. So signing out, signing back in does appear to do the trick. So if we go back onto the user guide now, you'll see that we get redirected to the PS4 exploit site from Al-Azov. Now Al-Azov has added a option for PS5s in here that will allow you to just search for any website that you want. So it starts off by caching the theme. That's normal. Just let it do that and get to 100%. It won't do this every time. It'll only do this the first time you load it up. Okay, and then what you want to do is you're not going to select any of these options because these are all for PS4. So what you're going to do is just hit the LT button twice. So left trigger, hit left trigger twice. So 1, 2, and then it will bring up a URL redirector. So then all you have to do is enter the website you want to go to. So of course, we're going to go to Google, done, and then we're going to hit submit. And that should redirect us to Google itself. And boom, there we go. We're on the Google search engine, and now we can search for any website that we want. So that is the second method. Didn't require any extra tools and software. So yeah, now basically every single time I go onto the user guide, you'll see it will redirect me straight to this website, and I can just do LT twice and enter the website and go to it. So super simple, super easy. And that is probably the best way I would recommend that you do this. That's probably the best method. So anyway, yeah, that's basically it, guys. That's how you access any website that you want. And basically, that's how you get access to a proper web browser app on the PS5 right now, since there is no dedicated PlayStation 5 web browser app available yet. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video or found the information useful. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll hopefully see you guys in the next one.